Covent Garden, 1754. An open sewer of filth, vice, and corruption. My dearly departed brother Henry and I set out to instill law and order to the capital. The Bow Street runners were born. But we are few, and the crimes are many. Following complaints from neighbours about the stench coming from a house in St. Giles, my runner made a grisly discovery. It seems these unfortunate souls were the latest victims of a spate of mysterious poisonings in the area. I instructed my runner to locate and halt the source of these fatalities. Sought to trace the victim's final movements. The only clue in the slum house was the pawnbroker's receipt, dated a week earlier.
Haven't we met before? Nathaniel Crouch. I'm just trying to carve myself out an honest living. Tell you what, I'll give you a good price for that coat of yours. How about £1.06? Oh, I tell you what, I'll do you a credit note for £1.08 for the gin shop down the street. John Flannery. Yeah, it was in a week or so back. I tried to tell him, what good's a carpenter without his tools? Yeah, I did. Yeah, but he had the thirst. Mother's ruin. Dead, you say? Oh, it's a terrible business. Just terrible. Mind you, there's a lot of it about. You're one of Fielding's runners, aren't you? I thought you lot were supposed to be keeping us safe from ne'er-do-wells. Make yourself useful. Rid me of him, will you? Well, you hit me, you did. Made me spill my gin. Take that side and give you a thrashing. Hey, Fielding's biddy body. Where's my coat? Sold it. Not buying, not selling. Let me leave in, if you please.
Having realised that the drunk's gin bottle bore the same distinctive label as the contaminated bottles found at the slum house, my runner decided to follow him, in the hope that it would lead him a step closer to the source of the gin.
I thought I told you. I'm the only one sells gin between Covent Garden Market and St Martin's Lane.
Got a decree from His Majesty, have you? I'm not scared of you, Ned Roach. This is a legitimate business.
Legitimate? Ha! You may be, but your gin isn't.
You shut your bone box, Ned Roach.
Everyone from here to Southwark knows that there's a secret still tucked away somewhere brewing up Mother's ruin. I've got a business to look after. You tell me what you know about the source of the source, and maybe we can come to an arrangement.
I'm making an honest living. I'm not going to be intimidated by you, Roach.
If you're so honest, why have you got the runners sniffing around, eh?
Name's Silas Brisket. Not that it's any business of Fielding's lackeys. Snooping round here, asking all these questions. This is a perfectly respectable establishment, as you can well see. Unless you're as blind as the old fool that sent you. I've never seen them before. These wretches go from one gin shop to the next. Those bottles could have come from anywhere. People murdered in gruesome ways every day in this city. And you're wasting your time on a few folks who died happy from a little too much gin? There's 1,000 gin shops in London, not to mention the taverns. I hope you got strong shoe leather if you're going to question them all. Intimidation, I calls it. No better than the gangs themselves.
Gin from an illegal backstreet still. My runner set out for the address in the logbook to find and stop production of the deadly brew. So, Runner, you have come to me requesting a warrant for arrest on the charge of illegal production of gin. Given the deaths attributable to such a claim, this is a serious charge. I won't deign to issue a warrant without a watertight case. Who do you suspect to be behind the production of the unlicensed gin? I see. Nathaniel Crouch is known to be a nefarious character. We shall require sound evidence. And what caused the deaths of the unfortunates in the parish of St. Giles? They were poisoned, and your crude field test confirmed that it was the gin that was responsible. And what connects this particular still with the gin shops and contaminated bottles at the slum dwelling? A supply of labels was found at the still. They were the same as those on the bottles found in the victim's hands and on the drunk in the gin shop. What proof is there of the pawnbroker's involvement? So, one of the victims pawned his tools to Crouch, then these same tools appeared in the illegal still. But how can you prove the scale of his enterprise? Yes, it appears Crouch was building quite an empire. Pity he didn't pay the same attention to the distilling process of his foul gin. A sound case. It seems our suspicions about Nathaniel Crouch are confirmed. I shall issue a warrant without delay. The sooner a man like Crouch is off the streets, the better for all of us. My runners raided the illegal still and smashed it to prevent further production, though it was too late for the many souls who had suffered agonizing deaths as the acid burned away their insides. Until poverty and despair could be vanquished, there would always be others seeking escape at the bottom of a gin glass. Perhaps realizing that our net was closing in on him, Nathaniel Crouch, the pawnbroker, disappeared into the underworld of London, a wanted man. Could it be that there was more to his criminal enterprise than we at first suspected?